Hi, welcome to Todd's Tips. I'm Todd Barsness, a full-time voiceover talent, and Todd's Tips is a feature of VO Marketing Pro. Now, if you'd like more information about VO Marketing Pro or anything else related to voiceover, just visit our Facebook page, website, or contact us via email. The links are located here. Hey, how you doing? This is Todd, and I'm glad you've joined me for another video on warm replies. We're trying to handle all the different types of warm replies that you and I can get, and just how I've handled them over the years and kind of learned to handle them. And so we're going to have this fourth video. The first one was an introduction, and then we've handled some other potential warm replies, namely, we'll keep you in mind and standard rates. Well, today in video number 4, we're going to talk about a variety of different warm replies that I get from potential clients during our direct email marketing efforts. Now, in this video, as I said, we're going to address a few types of warm replies. We're not going to spend a ton of time on each because these types of replies don't happen as often, yet it's still kind of nice to know what to think about them when you do get one. And so just before we jump into that, let me give you another overall tip when it comes to, all of the warm replies that we get. Here it is. I always start a brand new email when I get a warm reply from my assistant, Andy. Now, you can do what you want to do. If you want to take the forwarded email that VO Marketing Pro sends to you and then just keep that thread for some purpose, that's fine. I usually like to start a brand new email. And this is how I usually, have a subject line. And I want them to be able to see that this is my reply to their inquiry. Excuse me. Usually I put in the subject line something like, hi, the name of the person who I'm responding to, and then followed by the question that they had in their warm reply. So let's say, for instance, I get something from Jim, a video producer. This would be my subject line. Hi, Jim. Todd Barsness, voiceover talent, standard rates. Or, hi, Jim. Todd Barsness, voiceover talent, thanks for keeping me in mind, or whatever. Whatever the question they had, I would try to reference that so they would be able to see that, hey, I'm a real person, I'm reaching out to them, another real person, and then I'm also providing them my name and then the question so they can connect the two. So that's why I start a brand new email for each different email response that I have. As far as several warm replies or types of warm replies, this is how I handle them. Here's one type. Where are you located? I get that from time to time. Now, typically, this is just kind of chit-chat. Hey, where are you located? What's the weather like kind of thing. Or maybe it's an international client who wants to know your time zone. I typically say Madison, because nobody really wants to know and deal with my little hometown that I live in. And so I just go to the nearest big town or city, Madison, Wisconsin. Or for international clients, like people over in Germany or Europe or China, I just say just a little north of Chicago. Here's a second one. What is your workflow? Usually they want to know this as it relates to their projects. Now, to be honest with you, I'm not always sure why they're wanting to know, and so I usually get back to them and ask. And that's a way for us to have some give and take. But oftentimes, it relates to my availability and turnaround times. So when they say, what is your workflow, if that's what they're asking about, regarding turnaround times especially, what I try to do for an audition or for a project, I always underpromise and overdeliver. Underpromise and overdeliver so you don't disappoint them. Here's a third kind of warm reply. How do I take payment? So the person wants to know how they're going to pay me when the job is done. So after the job is done, how are they going to pay me? We usually offer a payment schedule and a payment option. That said, I've set up my system now, especially since we work with all sorts of clients. I try to make it easy for the client to pay. First of all, because that's just great customer service. But second of all, I want to get paid, and I don't want to make paying me be something that's complex or difficult. Here's a fourth one. How do I send files? They want to know how I send files. Again, similar to taking payment, I usually make a suggestion like I use Hightail, for instance. But I always say, well, I typically send files Hightail, but I can send them or transfer them whatever way you need me to. I just try to make it easy for the client. Sometimes they'll ask about equipment or sound chain, and most of the time that isn't a big deal, especially if I've sent my demos already or project links. They already know that I have a professional studio. Sometimes bigger studios who want to record on their end, like with Source Connect or whatever, they want to know this. But for me, it's been rare. Sometimes they ask about equipment, other times they usually don't, in fact. I don't know how many times, but probably in 12 years it's been 25 times maybe, so really not that often. Another last one that I want to cover today is what ways can you do a live session? Once again, I typically suggest what works for me since I'm going to have to be running my equipment and doing the editing and the takes and trying to concentrate on the script. That said, I'm flexible. So I hope you've enjoyed these tips on how to handle warm replies. Again, let us know if you have any comments or questions. We're glad to hear back from you at any time. Take care. Thanks a lot for joining me for Todd's Tips. And if you'd like more information about VO Marketing Pro or anything else VO related, visit our Facebook website or contact us via email. The links are listed here.